The beginning is the most important part of the work. Plato highlights the importance of taking the first step when initiating any project or idea. The beginning sets the tone for the entire process. If it is done properly and thoughtfully, success becomes more achievable. The mind is the fairest distribution among people. Plato considers the mind to be the most equitable gift given to humans, as everyone possesses it in their unique way, and each individual feels content with their share. This reflects an appreciation for human diversity in thought. Wisdom is the knowledge that allows us to distinguish between good and evil. For Plato, wisdom is not mere knowledge. It is the ability to use knowledge to discern good from evil and make the right moral decisions. Knowledge without virtue is ignorance. Plato suggests that knowledge without moral values or virtue leads to the misuse of information, which can harm humanity instead of benefiting it. Happiness lies in being in harmony with yourself. Plato believes that true happiness is not found in material possessions but in achieving inner harmony. When a person lives in alignment with their values and principles, they attain a state of contentment and joy. Love is the bridge between the human and the divine. Plato sees love as a means to transcend the material world and connect with the spiritual realm. Love inspires the pursuit of beauty, knowledge, and wisdom, bringing humans closer to divine perfection. Nothing is more beautiful than knowing oneself. Plato believes that the greatest journey a person can embark on is the discovery of oneself. Self-awareness is the foundation for understanding life and uncovering the true purpose of existence. Every man becomes what he thinks about. Plato emphasizes that the thoughts a person focuses on shape their reality and future. Positive and rational thinking leads to a better life, while negative thinking results in suffering. The wicked live to eat and drink, while the virtuous live to do good. Here, Plato distinguishes between those who live solely to satisfy their desires and those who dedicate their lives to doing good and serving others. True beauty is the beauty of the soul. Plato, along with many philosophers like his teacher Socrates, believes that physical beauty is temporary and fleeting, whereas the beauty of the soul is eternal and profound. The beauty of the soul reflects moral values and virtues. Injustice makes a man his own enemy. Plato points out that injustice not only harms others but also corrupts the soul of the person who commits it, causing internal conflict. Love is the soul's desire to reach perfection. For Plato, love is not just an emotion but a force that drives a person to strive for spiritual and moral perfection, transcending the material world. The mind is nourished by wisdom. Plato compares the mind to the body, which needs nourishment to grow. The nourishment of the mind is wisdom and knowledge, which help it develop and mature. Laws are made to teach virtue, not to enforce obedience. Plato views laws not just as tools for controlling people but as means to educate them in moral values and guide them to live virtuously. Ignorance is the root of all evil. Plato believes that all evil actions stem from ignorance. A person who understands truth and goodness will not commit evil acts because they are aware of their negative impact. Do not seek happiness outside yourself. It is within you. Plato believes that happiness is not found in possessions or external circumstances but arises from the state of the mind and soul. Focusing inward leads to true contentment. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. Plato emphasizes that all acts of good arise from knowledge, while ignorance is the root cause of all forms of evil. Education and knowledge are key to improving morality. The ideal city is the one ruled by philosophers. In Plato's philosophy, the ideal city is governed by philosophers because they possess the wisdom and knowledge to make decisions that serve the common good. Do not let anyone lead you without thinking. Plato warns against blindly following others and stresses the importance of independent thought and using reason to make decisions. A true friend is one who helps you improve yourself. Plato believes that the ideal friend is not only someone who shares good times but also someone who encourages you to grow and become the best version of yourself. Freedom is being a slave to the laws you have set for yourself. For Plato, freedom is not chaos but adherence to laws that align with reason and values, leading to an organized and independent life. Success is not measured by what you achieve but by what you overcome. Plato believes that true success is not just about tangible results but about overcoming the challenges and obstacles encountered along the way. Truth is seen with the eyes of the soul, not the eyes of the body. Plato views truth as spiritual rather than material, attainable through contemplation and deep understanding, rather than mere physical senses. Courage is knowing what to fear and what not to fear. Plato believes that courage is not the absence of fear but the ability to distinguish between real and imagined dangers and make appropriate decisions accordingly. The best rulers are those who do not seek to rule. Plato suggests that ideal rulers are those who do not aspire to power but take on leadership out of responsibility and a desire to serve society. All knowledge begins with wonder. Plato believes that curiosity and wonder are the primary drivers of seeking knowledge and understanding, as the mind starts questioning when confronted with the unfamiliar. Virtue does not come from wealth, but wealth comes from virtue. Plato asserts that moral values and virtues are what bring true success and prosperity, not the other way around. Morality is the foundation of any flourishing. The mind without education is like barren land. Plato compares the mind to land, which remains unproductive unless cultivated with knowledge and learning. Education gives the mind its strength and vitality. The ideal life is a life of contemplation and the pursuit of truth. Plato believes that the ideal life is one devoted to reflecting on the meanings of life and seeking the deeper truths that govern existence. Nothing is permanent except change. Plato points out that the world is in constant flux, and true stability lies in the ability to adapt to these changes. Silence is often more eloquent than speech. Plato suggests that silence can be a powerful means of expressing thoughts and emotions, often more impactful than words. Every person is born with a talent, but they must discover it. Plato believes that everyone possesses unique abilities, but it is up to the individual to seek and develop them to reach their full potential. Ignorance leads to fear, and fear leads to hatred. Plato points out that ignorance is the root cause of fear and misunderstanding, which ultimately leads to hatred and animosity among people. Love is the desire to possess the good forever. Plato views true love as the pursuit of virtues and lasting goodness, rather than temporary attraction to material or physical things. He who rules himself is greater than he who rules a city. Plato suggests that the ability to control oneself and master desires and impulses is the highest form of leadership, surpassing even the governance of nations. Humility is the crown of virtues. Plato believes that humility is the foundation of all other virtues, as it enables a person to embrace learning and achieve moral growth. Nothing burdens the soul more than lies. Plato believes that lies not only harm others but also damage the self, burdening the soul as they conflict with its natural pursuit of truth. The wise person is the one who knows they know nothing. Plato emphasizes that awareness of one's ignorance is the first step toward wisdom, as recognizing the limits of knowledge fosters a continuous desire to learn and grow. Do not measure a person's worth by what they have, but by what they give. Plato believes that a person's value lies in what they give to others, be it love, knowledge, or help, rather than in their material possessions. Virtue is the balance between reason and desire. Plato believes that virtue is a state of balance where desires are controlled by reason and wisdom, leading to a harmonious life. Hope is waking dreams. Plato suggests that hope is a form of dreams experienced in wakefulness, reflecting one's aspirations and future goals. True freedom comes from self-discipline. Plato suggests that freedom is not about chaos or indulging in every desire but about the ability to control oneself and make wise choices. A good leader is one who serves their people, not one who is served. Plato believes that a true leader prioritizes the welfare of their people and works to serve them, rather than using their position for personal gain. Love is the greatest teacher of the soul. Plato believes that love teaches the soul the values of giving, forgiveness, and spiritual growth, leading one to a deeper understanding of life. The things we see are merely shadows of the truth. Plato suggests that the material world we perceive is an imperfect reflection of the absolute truth that exists in the realm of ideas. The desire to learn never fades in a great soul. Plato highlights that great souls always strive to learn and grow, as curiosity is an essential part of their nature. A healthy society begins with the proper upbringing of children. Plato believes that the foundation of a strong and prosperous society lies in educating and instilling values in children from a young age. True strength comes from within. Plato believes that real strength is not measured by physical power but by inner resilience and spiritual will. Reason without virtue is like a ship without a rudder. Plato believes that a mind devoid of virtues like wisdom and justice cannot steer a person toward making proper decisions. Ignorance is the greatest enemy of freedom. Plato believes that ignorance enslaves individuals by preventing them from making informed and free decisions. Goodness does not require a law to prove its existence. Plato believes that true goodness transcends human laws, as it originates from the innate nature of humanity. Time is a moving image of eternity. Plato suggests that time in the material world is a reflection of the motion of eternity, yet it remains only a shadow of eternal truth. Power without wisdom destroys its bearer. Plato emphasizes that power wielded without wisdom leads to corruption and ruin, both for the individual and society. Virtue begins with the knowledge of the good. Plato states that virtue relies on one's understanding of what is good, as it cannot be practiced without knowing its essence. Reason illuminates the soul as the sun illuminates the earth. Plato believes that reason provides the soul with insight and knowledge, just as the sun lights up the external world. Humility is the beginning of wisdom. Plato suggests that recognizing the limits of one's knowledge allows humility to be the first step toward acquiring true wisdom. The search for truth is the highest form of worship. Plato states that the pursuit of truth and knowledge is a form of honoring existence and the divine. A just city cannot be built without just citizens. Plato emphasizes that justice in society requires individuals who embody justice, as each person contributes to a strong and stable community. Fear is the greatest enemy of truth. Plato believes that fear prevents individuals from confronting truths, whether internal or external, leading to avoidance. Actions are the true measure of a person, not words. Plato highlights that an individual's true character is revealed through their actions, not merely their words, as actions reflect intentions. Beauty without intellect is merely an empty appearance. Plato argues that outer beauty loses its value if it is not accompanied by intellect and wisdom, as true worth comes from within. Happiness does not come from possessing, but from being. Plato suggests that true happiness lies not in acquiring possessions but in living with awareness and inner peace. Change is the law of the universe. Plato believes that change is a fundamental part of life and existence, and individuals must accept and adapt to it. Knowledge without ethics leads to ruin. Plato asserts that knowledge, when used without adherence to ethics and values, causes significant harm to both individuals and society. True freedom is freeing the mind from illusions. Plato believes that genuine freedom is achieved when individuals liberate their minds from false ideas and beliefs. Humility brings a person closer to wisdom. Plato believes that humility makes a person more open to learning and acquiring wisdom by recognizing their limits. Education is the key to liberation. Plato suggests that education empowers individuals to free themselves from ignorance and intellectual constraints, unlocking their potential. The good is the ultimate goal of life. Plato believes that the highest aim of human life is the pursuit of goodness, as it is the essence of true happiness. Rationality is the foundation of virtue. Plato highlights that virtues rely on the use of reason in making decisions and achieving balance in life. Tyranny arises from ignorance and fear. Plato asserts that tyranny is born out of people's ignorance and fear of confronting truth or change. Inner peace begins with self-understanding. Plato believes that true peace is achieved when a person fully understands themselves and lives in harmony with their inner being.